We're talking about President Obama's stimulus plan, and of course, Pastor Ronnie T. Mitchell has a plan himself in terms of how it could be beneficial to the community, not only the African American community, but to communities all across the state of Tennessee, simply because the money is already here. And of course, Pastor, let's continue our conversation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And allow you to take the last few minutes of this program to further elaborate upon some of the things that you're planning on doing, and also to indicate the kind of help you think that you might need to get other folks involved in this.
Well, let me address that first. We need all the help we can get. We're looking for partners. We're looking for collaborators. In 1986, Tennessee Vols won the Sugar Bowl. When they asked the coach what was the key to victory, he said, great things can be done when nobody minds who gets the credit. We're not looking for credit or to make a name for ourselves. It's just that we know that there's a crisis in our community, and it hurts everybody, and we've got a chance to throw a lifeline. We've got a chance to do something about it. Again, we don't have to worry about budgetary restrictions. The money is there. It's our money too. We should be able to have a say-so in how it's spent, and especially if we've got a comprehensive, doable plan that can make it work. Understand this, Doc. One house being built affects and impacts over 100 jobs. From the time you go through the real estate and the financial and all the different trades in the construction, the furnishings, the people with the utilities, the government that done the inspecting, one house being built.
As a code man, you understand all that for 20 years.
For 20 years. One house being built impacts over 100 jobs. It is the engine that drives this economy. That is why we must find a way to reintroduce the minority community to the construction trade. And for those people to say, I don't want my son doing construction, look, they can go on and be accountants and engineers. But when they get to making that large money, we believe in the principle, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. When they get ready to make that large money, instead of all that money being absorbed in taxes, they can reinvest that money in community development. And if they knew something about the industry, it can help them cut their costs and not get robbed and be able to do some of the work themselves. What we're saying is, federal dollars are here. It's our money too. We've got a program where we will train our young people, members of the homeless community, our veterans, and anybody that has fallen on bad times or just chooses to retrofit buildings, both public buildings and private, commercial and residential. And those that are publicly funded also, not just public buildings.
That's what the money's for.
But public funded buildings.
That's what the money's for.
To retrofit them with energy efficient roofs, lights, windows, weather stripping, anything, because the country's focus now is on energy independence and energy efficiency. We believe that we've got a cutting edge program to where we can turn our cities into laboratories of change by providing and affording our citizens, everybody, with a level playing field to where we can all access the great American dream.
And the thing about it is that the money is already there.
The money's there. Let me finish my point. One house impacts over 100 jobs. So we're using this opportunity, when the money is here to do this work, to make sure that training and workforce development is interwoven into the work to where we can have the guys, and the other part is the reschooling culture, because it's one thing to teach them how to do the job, but we've got some issues, some behavioral issues that need to be addressed, and we've got programs. We'll be doing performance evaluations. We'll be doing the kind of things, CEUs, continuing education credits, to where you get credit for going through anger management program, where you get credit in going through a program that allows you to tone down. They used to say that I had an aggressive personality. They ain't saying that no more. One of my church members told me, Pastor, why don't you smile more? Man, I've been smiling ever since. And God has smiled on me.
You got a plan.
So what we're saying is that this is a tremendous opportunity for us, and we believe that it is a grave error for us to not take advantage of this opportunity, to do so much, to leave a legacy to our children. I got a granddaughter, Parker Nicole. I would not want her to leave to me the kind of world that we get ready to leave to her. I would not want that to happen. And so every time we try to do something, this is what happens. We get told you can't do it because there's no money.
All right.
Or you can't do it because there's a law against it. Or you can't do it because it won't work. I'm like Nehemiah. I'm doing the great work.
Okay.
And I can't come down. And I cannot deal with the distractions.
Okay.
Distractions are detractors because the money is there. The program is here. And there's a slogan that we've come up with, Dr. Haney, that I'd ask that you remember. The help that we've been waiting on is here. Because of the help that we've been waiting on is us.
Is us. That's it, and that sounds good. And of course, you know, Reverend, we've got about 5 minutes here.
Okay.
Now, from this point, from this particular show, where do you go from here? I mean,
we are waiting to hear back from some that we've asked to partner with us.
Okay.
What we're needing is for our local government and our state government to provide us with a building where we can immediately begin to go in and make it energy efficient, retrofit it with offices and classrooms. We immediately put folk to work.
Okay.
That would be our headquarters. And from there, we continue to train, and we roll out teams to do an energy audit first to find out what communities, based on the number of years that that community has been in existence, are its historic appeal. What communities would be the best ones to start to look at the insulation in the roof, the windows and the doors.
So the first thing you need now is a building,
we need a building,
place
and we need resources to sustain us. Communities to develop, where we can build houses, to where we can attract contractors to be a part of our training program. And if they know that we've got developments going on, they know that they have access to being able to do some roofing work, or some concrete work, or some general contracting work, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical. That's what we're trying to do. So we need resources, all kind of resources, and anybody that would like to contact me, Doc, if I can give out.
Yeah, well, that's what we're trying to do, because the
my cell phone number is 485-6301. That's area code 615-485-6301. And my email address is the letter R, Mitchell, M-I-T-C-H-E-L-L, 9943 at Comcast.net.
Or they can get in touch with your church.
They can get in touch with our church. Or they can get in touch with our Contractors Association, MITDICA, Middle Tennessee Diversity Contractors Association, 1819 Charlotte Avenue, over right off of Charlotte there in North Nashville.
And so what you're doing now, you're making an appeal to those individuals who've heard you, who might be interested in, they might have their own self-interest in terms of whatever they might, but could see themselves working with.
And let me stop right here and make sure that I recognize and say thank God for the president of our association, Kathy Leslie, our treasurer, Tracy Ross, our vice president, Linaris Alston, and our program director, Rob Horton. Let me thank God for them, and if they're out there listening, let's just hang in there, guys. We're closer than we've ever been to being able to see come to fruition a plan whereby we all can say that we decided to rise up and let's build something together. Thank you, Kathy Leslie. Thank you, Linaris Alston. Thank you, Rob Horton. Thank you, Tracy Ross.
And
thank you, Mike Tucker.
And the money is already there. We know that the money is there. The state of Tennessee already has the money, and there ought not to be any reluctance.
Hold on, I'm leaving out some key people, because we've got for those that want, we've got access to 3 training institutions. Floyd Stone, You Can't Touch God's Property, Kelly Holmes, Be a Hip and Hand Foundation, and the William Patton Foundation. They have a history of engaging in training in these trades, in that to where we can make sure that the proficiency is there. And one of the key components to what we're trying to do is that we will reach out to members of other communities, the majority community and other ethnic minorities, because if we can come in a classroom, controlled environment together, we can begin to learn more about one another's culture and not offend one another.
That's right.
Reschooling, culture, retooling, community, economic and environmental stabilization through community restoration.
Okay, and of course, Reverend, we've got about a minute before we end this show for today. And let me simply thank you for bringing that information by to us. And I'm sure that you'll find many partners, because as we've both said, the money is already there.
The money is there.
The only thing that we have to now do is to take the initiative and go and get the money.
Yes, sir.
Is that it?
Yes,
and of course, let me also encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of this particular show. And at the same time, if they can find it in what they do to help with this project, then we certainly would encourage you to do so. And I'm sure that you would encourage that, would you not?
I would, Dr. Haney. Again, I think we're making a grave error.
Very good.
If we don't take advantage of this opportunity.
Of course, and of course, let us encourage you to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.